I had heard of Esalen long ago, and I felt a sense of freedom when I rode down that hill toward the baths. It was a feeling of expansion and freedom. So I got there and I took a workshop. One was Gestalt with he's deceased now, but Seymour Carter. And he asked me a repeating question. And the question was, what are you avoiding? And then I did a breathwork, holotropic breathwork with Stanislav Grof. I went back to Esalen and became a work scholar. And it was during the work scholar, then I became a staff member.
What year was that?
1984. When I had gone that first time, I got massages at the baths. When I became a staff member, I signed up for the in-house. It was the first training that the Esalen Massage School faculty offered.
Wow. And who were your teachers?
Everybody. There were 15 or 16 teachers. It was total chaos. And I liked it. I liked we had I'll say, the classical Esalen massage that is still taught today by Peggy and Brita and Deborah. So those three were in there trying to get everybody classical Esalen massage. I delved into Esalen massage, and before I certified, I gave 300 massages at the baths. I gave them to children. I gave them to everybody.
Remember these early times when you were still a student or giving all those massages? Were there any challenges?
It's hard for me to answer, I think, because I was enrolled in so many programs that if I had psychological, emotional issues myself, they got worked through in all the other programs. So I think I don't have all the learning massage and practicing because I lived there. I lived on campus and I had access to everything. And we traded. Daniela, who's another senior, she arrived a few years after I did, and somehow we became really good friends back then too. And we practiced together a lot, learning together. Our biggest challenge as far as practicing was there were only 2 massage rooms with 2 tables each in them, and the rest of the space was very open air in the winter. It had a canvas curtain that rolled down, but because Esalen is on the Pacific central coast of California and the Alaskan weather would come down and it was cold, and that wind would come around those curtains, and we were cold. Our clients were cold in the real winter. So I went all over. I looked for a place for us to have winter work that was warmer than Big Sur. So I had the freedom to travel. And in a series of events, I got invited to go to Bali. And Bali became the place where I decided to offer winter programming.
You must have gone through, I don't know, hundreds of workshops. So who influenced you most? Who is giving you his spirit into your hands to practice at the table?
Because of the way we worked and still work at Esalen, nobody's in a private room, that we work in rooms with each other. It's like being a member of a symphony. We're all playing the same score, but different instruments. And we see what the others are doing and we might try it. So that was a major teaching all the time. As a breath worker, Stan Grof and breath, I studied breath with anybody I could. So I learned to work with people with breath on the table. And I also did a lot of overtone chanting and singing. The whole time I lived at Esalen, I went to singing Gestalt. And it wasn't about a performance, learning to perform. It was authentically what I was feeling. Combined with all that, I also became a minister. I did a 4-year ministerial program because I wanted to marry and bury people. I took sound with me to the baths, and I worked outside and farther away from people most of the time. So prayer, singing a prayer, an invocation or a benediction or a lot of inspiration would come. I was also becoming a 5 rhythms teacher at the same time. And Gabrielle, back in those days, Gabrielle Roth, we sang. Singing was an important part of our programs in the 80s and 90s. I think Gabrielle Roth's teachings were very important because she loved massage and she loved receiving massage. And she took all of our groups to the baths, and we went on the south side and massaged while different 5 rhythms musicians would play. And so her teaching, not about dancing only on the dance floor, but her teaching about how moving was an important part. I did a lot of Continuum in the early days, a 3-week program here, and I would go to San Francisco and take programs with the founder, Emily Conrad. And breath, her statement, sound is breath made audible. And her kind of breath work was very different from Grof, equally as valuable and wonderful. And so her inquiry into the nature of fluid body really also influenced me. So the whole massage crew had an impact on me. The man who plucked me out and said, he chose me. I want to teach with Ellen, a certification training. There was no formal way to do that back then. He had been a Benedictine monk before he came to Esalen, and quite a yogi, David Streeter. I met David in the kitchen because he was still working in the kitchen when I got there. And he was in the big walk-in refrigerator one day, drinking cooking wine. And he said, "Shh, don't tell anybody." Who am I going to tell anyway? And I don't know, out of that, we became really good friends. He was my brother. And we maintained that level of relationship. And so he had a profound effect on me. I'm very yin in my teaching and very spontaneous, and he was very structured. I learned how to, in a 30-minute demo, how to teach 10 minutes of anatomy and then show the chart and show this and then go do what I was going to do, the demo. And then after it, go back to the chart and show them what they had just done. And I thought that was very effective.
Yeah. So you had a lot of great teachers. We are very happy that you're coming to Switzerland for the Esalen Massage Global Village. You're really looking forward to it. If you would have a way to to shout out to all the Esalen massage practitioners around the world, what would you tell them? What would your call or your invitation to them be?
Coming to Switzerland, coming to our global gathering, don't miss it. It is the first one. I've been wanting to do this for years at Esalen Big Sur, and it's harder to arrange. And these wonderful people who have organized this, Lily and her teammates, and you will meet people from all over the world and make friends. And it's a unique opportunity. And if you want to get a taste of what Esalen is about, we're it. And we have included so much of what we got when we lived there or went there or worked there. So you get a real taste of what it's like to be at Esalen and meet people from all over the world, and you might make a friend or two. I've lived long enough to know that I probably would have found my way to having a good life if I hadn't gone to Esalen. But since I did go and I did stay, it put me on a path. All the work that I did there, and the people I met, I knew I wanted to travel and see the world, and I've gotten to do that as a result of going to Esalen. And my life is immeasurably rich because of that. So grateful forever for having needed the place so that somebody told me to go, and to all the people that have felt that call to either go physically to the place or come to our programs out in the world. And I'm forever grateful and thankful.
Thank you, Ellen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lily.